This is the English definition of pedigree. An ancestral line. Your ancestry. It's beautiful, man. This is to tell you right now. Line of descent, lineage, ancestry, a genealogical table, chart, list, or record, especially of a purebred animal. Distinguished, excellent, or pure ancestry. This is all hitting home runs. So let's go back in the scripture.
I got some. It comes from the word Yawalad, to bear, to bring forth, beget, gender.
That's right. So Yawalad means to produce and bear the son, your child, or your lineage, your ancestral line.
She said gender.
Right, your gender. Okay, so let's go back. Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation of Israel together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees, the ancestral lineage, after their families, by the house of their fathers. Of their who? Fathers. According to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Not the mama, not the grandmama, not the great auntie, but the father. Because we drop seed.
And not Medea.
Exactly. Not Medea. You know what I'm saying? None of that. We drop seed out of our penis, which goes inside of a woman, and that determines who that child is. So, Moses could have had anybody. He could have had a Moabite, which is a Chinese. He could have had an Ammonite, which is a Japanese. He could have had the Midianite, which was Zipporah, whatever her name, Zipporah. You know what I'm saying? He could have had any woman out of any nation, and it would not have mattered what color she was. I had gave her the scripture Job 30 and 30, which says, my skin is black. It's talking about Israelites. I gave her something to Solomon that says that I'm black and comely. That's talking to the Israelites. That was the point that I'm making. Who cares about Moses and his wife? He was an Israelite. So that calls whatever he was is the same as Job 30 and 30. The same as Songs of Solomon, the first chapter.
I got it.
You still hold that one?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, this is Job 8 and 8. We'll start at 7. 8 and 7. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. For inquire, I pray thee, for the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
That's right. So you got to go into the prepare yourself for the search of your fathers, your forefathers, and you go into your father's line. Who's your daddy? Okay, what was his daddy? Okay, what was your great granddaddy? Okay, and it goes all the way back to being black or Native American or Latino, and if you go all the way back before then, it's going to go all the way back into so-called to the middle, either it's going to come to Native Americans over here before the white man came over here, or to the so-called Latinos before the so-called Spaniards came, and then so-called us in the Dark Ages, when so-called Negroes in the Dark Ages, and then scattered abroad in Africa and various lands, all right? And then you go back before them to their forefathers, and their forefathers, it's going to go back into the Moors. You're going to go back to that. It's going to go back into when we were so-called Greeks or Romans or different nations in these different places. But it's going to when you go back to the original and origination of it, it's going to come back to Israel. It's going to come back to one of these 12 tribes, and it's going to come back to the nation of Israel. Because in the book of in the scriptures, it tells you how the Latinos came over here. It tells you how the Native Americans came over here. It tells you how the niggas came over here. It's all in the scriptures. And that's how you got to go back to the forefathers, to your history.
Songs of Solomon 7 and 1. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. In my mother's womb was I fashioned to be the flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted blood of the seed of man.
Of the seed of who?
Of the seed of man.
So what's the definition of that word seed? Doesn't seed mean sperm?
It's sperma.
Don't they call that a seed? When we plant our penis inside of a woman and inject a seed inside of her, what happens? A baby comes forth. Who put that seed in there?
Man.
That man. Man's a seed made from man. If you go into the Greek word of what the word seed means, it's the Greek word sperma. And sperma is where the English Latin word becomes sperm. Go ahead, brother.
This is back up what the brother just said about seed. This is Psalms 22 and 31.
Say that again, because that most
Psalms 22 and 30. A seed shall serve him. It shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation.
So the Most High said a seed shall serve him?
Yeah, he's
a
talking
particular sperm line.
Yeah, that's right.
And it should be counted as
A generation?
A generation.
And aren't we the generations of our forefathers? We're in that that lineage. Then when we broke down the word pedigree and talked about generations, all right?
And I got that in Galatians 2.
Go ahead, brother.
Galatians 3 and 6. All right, Galatians 3 and 6. Even as Abraham believed the Most High, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know ye not that? Yeah, that's it.
And that's beautiful. That's a good scripture because
yeah.
you don't know what I was talking about before you brothers came, but I had hit on Abraham. I was talking about faith.
Right, because really I needed to go to 16, but I'm going to go to
that's the spirit. That's the spirit. Because I was talking about faith and how Abraham, believing in the Most High, was counted to him as righteousness, and we was going breaking down faith and what it is really to have faith. Right. That was in Hebrews 11th chapter. Talking about the men of the Lord having faith, which is also going to talk about Abraham again. You know, but you have brought that out, and that's a good
so I'm gonna bring this up. Okay. All right. Even as Abraham believed the Most High, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know ye therefore that which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham.
Right there, that's a beautiful scripture too, because that who's of faith is of the what?
Of faith, the same are the children of Abraham.
Are the children of Abraham, out of his seed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Israelites are the ones who have faith. We're the ones who are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the people of the Lord, who have hope and faith in Yahweh Ba'ashah, Yahweh Shai.
I got a meaning.
I'm gonna give a name.
This is in the Hebrew, Zahara. It says seed sowing offspring. A sowing a seed, semen whereof, offspring descendants, prosperity children.
There you go. So even if you go into the word of seed in Hebrew, it still says offspring, children, because that's what we produce. All right. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna jump down to my first original scripture. This is Galatians 3 and 16. Now to Abraham and his seed, were the promises made. That goes up, links up what I just read in Psalms back there. Remember, he said the seed was going to be counted for a generation. He said, now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made.
And the Japanese.
Well, to Abraham and his seed were the promises made.
Oh, and the Chinese.
Abraham and his seed.
Some other nation.
Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said, not, and to the seed as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ.
So he had one seed?
Yeah, on one line, man, one lineage. That's it.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes.